He's a PokerStars pro, he's a Manchester United fan, and he's very popular on his Twitch channel. His name is Ben Spragg, but everyone knows him as Spraggy. All right, Ben Spragg, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah.
Good morning.
How is it to be at the EPT in London?
Great. It's always great to be at EPTs, and obviously this last year I've been traveling a lot more, playing a lot more live poker, and been to Vegas a little bit, and been to Barcelona and Monte Carlo and Nottingham and London for UK EPT, and now back to EPT London for the first time in seems like forever.
Yeah. What made you become a pretty big sensation or so on Twitch?
Sensation.
And so on? Yes, you are. You know that.
Sensation. I'm not sure about that. Consistency. I think. You know when just a wave continually hits against a rock, and attrition, and eventually people realize there's no one else to watch. None of the good players, none of the entertaining players, the funny players are as consistent as I am. So they're like, I guess we'll have to watch Spraggy. And then over 6 or 7 years of streaming, I have an audience.
I mean, when you started quite a few years ago, would you know that it suited you to do that kind of format in the social media?
I don't think I ever went into it really with the idea to grow a large channel or a large following. When I first streamed probably 7 years ago, and I started streaming because I was a little bit sort of bored of playing poker just myself, and other people had started streaming at the time, so I felt that might be something that would sort of reinvigorate my interest in talking about poker or just adding another dimension. I felt like I would always enjoy it. I wasn't sure whether I'd be good at it or whether other people would want to watch me, but I felt like it was something I would enjoy. So I really started doing it for those reasons, and I guess if I was enjoying it, other people were enjoying watching it, and it sort of grew out of that, really.
Yeah, so tell me about, are you from Bristol?
Near Bristol. It's near Cheltenham, which people might know if they're sort of involved in any sort of betting scene because of the horse racing, of course. So it's about 10-15 minutes from Cheltenham, in a pretty small town out in the southwest.
Would you say you were you interested in horse racing? Is your family interested in sports and horse racing? I
have a lot of friends who are interested in the horses at Cheltenham, and obviously I've been quite a lot because it's right around the corner. It's a fun day out, but I don't pretend to know anything about how to bet on horses or sports for that matter. I'm a big sports fan, I'm a big football fan, but in terms of sports betting, I'm very much probably like in poker. I'm a pretty big fish.
Are you really? Well, do you do it more for the thrill of it?
I do it more just for some fun, and I'll occasionally bet super small stakes. Poker, I obviously like to do it for more than the thrill of it. I try to be as professional as I can. Yeah, I'm not a particularly big sports betting guy.
I mean, it seems like when you play on Twitch and you entertain yourself and the audience, is it important to have fun when you play poker, you think?
Yeah, I mean, there have always been players on Twitch who are way more proficient at the game technically than I am, like just way better players than I am. But I think first and foremost, Twitch is an entertainment platform. People watch to be entertained or to share their day with somebody who they enjoy sharing it with, or dropping into a channel for a community for a couple of hours so that they can talk to people they know or see a familiar face or have a good time. So I think in terms of the output I put onto Twitch, it's always been entertainment is number one, and having fun is number one, and thank goodness for me that technical proficiency of poker is sort of second to that, because I think people would rather watch somebody they were really invested in and really wanted to see win like $10,000 than someone who they know has already played in super high stakes, win another $500,000, and this person's won a bunch of high rollers or whatever it is. And obviously that's great to a point, but I think if you're investing in someone, you have to sort of, I don't know, really have invested in them as a person too. And obviously when I'm on Twitch pretty much every day, then people tend to get invested.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's important for the audience, for the viewer to feel like I could be that guy, or I'm similar to this guy, which is not the case when you talk to the guys playing the 50K buy-in.
Yeah, I think I still do. Obviously over the years I've sort of moved up in stakes, but I still play at quite an aspirational level where every day I'm still registering $22 buy-in tournaments, $11 buy-in tournaments, $33 buy-in tournaments, and turning hopefully occasionally $33 into $5,000, which for a lot of people watching is like, that means something. And is, like you say, it's something that they can look at and go, oh, you know, I could do that, or I know what that feels like, or I know the joy of that. I know how much 5K, 10K scores are. I think it can get lost in the shuffle a little bit when we have such a big high roller scene, or we're playing so many 25Ks, 50Ks, and someone wins $1 million or someone wins 500K, that it sort of does tend to lose the value of that's a big win.
And I guess that's your plan, to continue to do that wherever your career is going in poker. You start winning a lot. Will you try to keep your foot on the ground? I think
it's a natural progression to sort of want to or try to play the highest stakes one can play. I think it's very difficult for me to be very focused on streaming and traveling. Those players who play at those stakes are so elite and so good that it's almost like a diminishing return for me in terms of the amount of work I'd have to put in to go from right now I'm playing 1Ks online, 530s online and feeling good about it, but to go to playing 5Ks, 10Ks consistently online and higher stakes live, that gap, trying to bridge that gap is so much work. I have so much respect for those guys, how good they are at the game, that the time investment, I'm not sure if it's something I'm ever going to be able to commit to whilst I'm still streaming, but you know, who knows? I'd like to think I work hard, so we'll see.
I mean, when you go to, how many live events do you go to, and how long have you done that, mixing the online playing with the live scene?
Really didn't play much live poker for probably the first 4 or 5 years that I was streaming, and then sort of once everything started up again after COVID shutdowns, there was some sort of pent-up desire to play, I think, from everybody, and with the return of the EPT, that was a nice opportunity to go and travel to those. I'd previously been traveling to EPTs and doing some commentary and things like that, but not getting too much chance to play. But it's really nice this last sort of year, 18 months or so, to really sink my teeth into playing live poker, and I'm finding it really enjoyable. It's really nice to have a mix of playing an online series, then going to an EPT, going back playing some more online EPTs, things like that. So I'm really enjoying that balance at the moment.
Do you notice that people come up to you at live events, players, but also, I mean, there's not that many spectators at the tournaments yet, but do a lot of players come up to you, discuss hands, discuss strategies with you when you're out on the live tour?
I'm not sure anyone cares for my opinion strategically too much, but definitely have people come up to me, and even this trip here in London, there's been quite a few people come up to me and said, you know, I started playing poker because I watched your channel, or I really enjoy your content, or someone came up to me yesterday and told me that they enjoy watching me get wrecked. My YouTube highlights of bad beats and things. I was like, oh, thanks so much. My misery is your joy. What's really peculiar is there are some players who started watching my channel probably 6 or 7 years ago, and that was how they got into poker, and they sort of just found it through Twitch and the chat and started playing. And now some of these guys are like way better than I am, and they're playing the higher stakes than me, and they're like some of the best online players than me, and they started by watching my channel, and they've far surpassed me. So there's a mix there of sort of pride and bitterness and resentment and anger and jealousy, but mostly pride.
I think you should have some kind of a form on your page that they have to tick the box like they do on Apple and so on. Mm-hmm. And if you watch this and make really good money, you have to pay 5%.
Let's talk percentages. Like, you wouldn't be here if you didn't watch the channel. Now I see these people, it's like another $400,000 score on a Sunday. I'm like, well, great. Send me 10%. Where's my cut?
Obviously. How does the future look for you, Ben?
I don't know. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to anybody, I guess, but that sounds a little bit more ominous than perhaps it should. I think more streaming. I'd like to travel more, play more EPTs, as you say, or try and play as high stakes as I can possibly play. But I'm just still really enjoying streaming and making content and having fun on Twitch. So probably a lot more of that.
Are you not afraid that you are kind of too locked into poker, or is there time? Do you set off time to do other stuff outside playing poker and maybe watching sports?
Yeah, I think you have to, because like setting, or like work-life balance, I guess, is what that is. That was probably an issue I had before when I was only playing poker and not streaming, in that I just played poker all day and I didn't find time to do other things. But I've been pretty good at that over the last 5 or 6 years. of realizing when it's time to take a few days off or a week off or travel or whatever it might be. So I think it also helps coming to live events more now and seeing friends at live events and having downtime and things like that. So I'm pretty happy where my balance is, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. It's good to see you, and good luck with continuing playing poker online and live. And we'll see you out on the tour. Are you going to go to, do you have any booked more events?
Most likely Prague. I would like to think I'm going to be in Prague. Prague is so nice around Christmas with the markets and good food, and it's just again, just a very nice stop. So hopefully Prague. Excuse me.
Okay, Spraggy, good to talk to you, and we'll talk soon again. Maybe we have an interview for the Swedish deal online, right?
Yes, hopefully. I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you.